Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it's time for a squat and deadlift day, but we made it just a deadlift day. I'm going to talk a little bit about that. I'm going to have a very, very eventful weekend. Again, I've had a lot of things going on and recovery. I'm having to be very careful with my recovery, so I got to this day, and I was surprised I came in and got this. I'm like, I don't want to squat today because I don't want to deal with the stress of the axial loading. And sometimes we have to look at our recovery that way, right? What happened? I ended up coming in and getting a deadlift PR. And this is a lifetime PR. I've never pulled this weight for 5 reps before. Even when I felt that I was bigger and stronger in my late 20s, I don't think I've ever done this, even back then, right? I just pulled the 555 the other day for 5. Now, this was more difficult. If you guys saw the thing, I had the sound turned on. My last one was louder. You know, you don't always see me make noise. I got a little excited. Also put in some of the stuff for those curious. I was listening to ZZ Top. My head's in Mississippi for that. So I'll talk about some other stuff in a minute as far as something I'm really laughing at. I made a Facebook status about it. As far as accusations of what I do with my footage. So it's kind of funny. Here's what I decided to do. I did reverse hypers only after. Do you know why? My hamstrings were screaming at me. I did that and I'm like, you know what? That set is probably going to hit my recovery. I did a pretty serious workout on Tuesday for my lower body and deadlift stuff. All right. I PR'd on some of my deadlift accessories this week, both upper and lower body. I know I've got a lot on my plate right now. I'm going to have a lot of stuff, important family stuff this weekend I've got to deal with. So my stress levels are going to be a little high. All right, we have to mitigate that. I'm still hitting PRs in spite of all that, which again, the importance of fatigue management, the importance of getting proper sleep, the importance of keeping your headspace straight. Okay. I'm in the middle of dealing with family tragedies, hitting PRs, but we have to manage recovery. So what I decided to do with this, I'm like, I'm not going to do any real quad work this time. I'm not going to put a bar on my back. That deadlift hammered my hamstrings. My hamstrings felt fried after that. They felt fried. I'm real happy with the set though. I'm going to go so far as to say that single set probably had a training stimulus, just to the sheer amount of muscle tension and mechanical tension involved. Okay. But it's also on the tail end of a decent amount of hypertrophy work PRs this week. Okay. Some of which the muscles may not even be recovered from. And I suspect that's the case. My hamstrings were a little crampy on Tuesday. They were a little crampy. Well, if hamstrings are cramping, we know we've kind of pushed the limits. Now, I was still able to come and hit that deadlift PR. But I felt my hamstrings a lot. So, what do? Well, we focus purely on recovery. Well, what's the most recovery-oriented thing I could possibly do after deadlifting? Reverse hypers. All right, we pull that spine back in traction, work everything, get some blood flow to everything. I did 6 sets. I normally do my 5. I did 6 sets of reverse hypers. Now, we want to talk about training stimulus. My posterior chain got 7 high-quality work sets. Because that deadlift hits that stuff hard. And what do we know about heavy work? If you do heavy work before rep work, the efficiency is higher on the rep work. Set for set and rep for rep, you get a higher quality training. That's what the studies show. How many champions have trained that way? Well, the anecdote matches the research. Let's run with it. It's been working real well for my benching lately. I've been getting bigger, been getting thicker. Okay, so there's where we are. But I've got to watch the recovery. I'm like, let's just come in and do that. Will I grow from it? I think I'm going to hypertrophy off this workout. I'm also going to need the extra recovery. I had a pretty hardcore training week with a lot of PRs while still mitigating a lot of real life stress. It's time to take this Friday workout and say, you know what? Let's quit while we're ahead. That deadlift set's great. Let's just do reverse hypers. Let's call it a week. We're done. Get some high quality food. I'm down weight right now too. I'm down a pound today from my lowest point last week. So for those who are like, are you bulking? No. Now, because I'm dealing with a lot of stuff, I have my diet super dialed in this week. Is that a factor? Is that helping? Yes. I'm eating 4,000 plus calories of exclusively clean foods. Very micronutrient dense, very rich in antioxidants, getting that recovery caught up. Now, let's talk about something else I thought's hilarious. I also made some statuses on that. I actually had someone come in on one of my reels and they're like, well, you're speeding up your deadlift footage. I'm like, no. You guys have seen me pull in a live stream, okay? This is verifiable. It's very clear I've also ripped the footage and didn't mess with the speeds because you can hear stuff in the back and all that. From a live stream, I pulled 625, said a year and a half ago, whatever it was, in a live stream at a charity event. It moved just as fast. Okay? I'm a fast puller. So I thought that was funny. I'm fast at deadlifts. I can't grind deadlifts. Would you guys see at the last meet? Last meet, that's meet footage, not gym footage. Broke a state record, lightning fast, like a 1 second rep, and then set it down under control. I went up another 20 kilograms, that's 22 pounds. Pulled it fast, stuck right at the knee, and I let go. I was done. I pull fast even on missed lifts sometimes. I'm an explosive puller. I can't grind. So the same thing comes up too, by that same token, I'll get commentary. I'll get someone who will come in the reels and shorts and they'll say, oh man, it looked like you had 2 or 3 reps left in the tank when it's a 5 rep max. Because they're seeing the bar speed on the last one and they don't realize, for me, that is a max effort rep on a deadlift. That's how fast it moves. It actually can't do more. So, they'll look at these work sets and say, oh, you could have done more reps. I'm like, no, I promise you beyond a shadow of a doubt, I would have failed the next rep. And I think the same would have happened today. So the thing to keep in mind, fast versus strong. I mean, you'll see Louis Simmons used to talk about that a lot, of working back and forth on those. And you'll see that some lifters are always slow and strong and others are fast. Okay. There's a difference. And if you don't know what you're dealing with a lifter, a lift will look like it was easier than it really was. We've all seen Malinichev, I always get his name wrong, do that 1,000+ pound world record squat. It looks like an opener. It's so fast. Does anyone really think he could have lifted more? Had it moved any slower, he might have missed it. He's a fast squatter. Understand the difference. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys.